Draft Pod, baby. The epic 2021 draft. The one that started it all for George Paton. Brought PS2 here. But at the time, we thought it was quite controversial. We're going to dig into it all. Go over good draft takes, bad draft takes. Where would Quinn Meinerz go in this epic draft? Unpacking it all. Cannot wait to do this. Starting now. DNVR Draft Pod live from downtown Denver on our studios above the DNVR bar on the corner of Colfax and York from the Toyota Lounge. We, of course, driven by your Front Range Toyota Stores Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. A little double header action for you guys.
Yes.
First the draft pod.
Yes.
Then Hankster is going to cook on the Broncos pod.
And back to back.
Yeah. Second back-to-back. Third back-to-back of the... No. Monday, we had the pre-record Broncos Rockies. So that was back-to-back-to-back.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was finishing up the NBA draft round one show 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. How...
Yeah, tell us about the NBA draft, Dre.
Yeah.
What should we know?
So fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm legit. Tell us what happened. Like,
Well, I mean, all the centers went out west.
Okay.
Like the anti-Jokic agenda could not be stronger.
Okay.
6 centers, all of them to the Western Conference.
all right.
Won a bet on Hansen Yang, the Chinese center, whose
Congrats.
scouting report reads a bit Jokic-esque. Went top 16, shocking everyone. I got him at plus 120 to go round one. Top
Wow.
30 picks, he goes top 16.
Jeez.
Wow.
Montverde, Cooper Flagg's high school team. Like an IMG Academy type team.
Okay, I'm with you.
Cooper goes number 1. His center, Derek Queen, the guy who hit the buzzer beater against CSU, goes 13th overall. Asa Newell is power forward in high school, goes 20th overall. And his shooting guard, Liam McKinney, I want to say went 29th. Could you imagine playing against that high school team?
They
No.
better not have lost
4
the game.
first rounders? No, I mean, they're one of the greatest teams of all time.
I wonder what would have happened against your high school team. Because we didn't play basketball, neither of us.
We would play.
Yeah.
We were one of like 8 American schools in Italy.
Yes.
And we were one of our school in Milan and the 2 Rome schools were the only schools that were just American schools.
Okay.
The others were American schools and actual American military bases. So we would kick their ass in soccer. They would destroy us in basketball.
Well, you were the 5'8" power forward, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was a little chunkier back then, so I could make my hips really work for me on box outs. But yeah, I mean, if they didn't 40-point us, we thought that was a major dub.
Yeah. So then against this team,
Also, we had
you
the
get to
issue,
double digits. They probably get to triple digits.
I don't think you guys get a shot off against this team.
No.
It's possible.
Oh, I don't
You don't
think we
think
get the ball up past half court. No, I mean seriously,
Yeah, I mean,
that
there's a
was a real
chance.
struggle for us. The other thing is we could drink in Italy as high schoolers.
Yes.
So home games we'd always have back-to-backers. Friday night, Saturday morning. Friday night we were always kind of humming.
I'm sure.
Saturday morning, boy, were those rough. We would just get coach would just be like, get this one out the way.
Yeah, just
like,
for the
let
love
me
of the
enjoy
game.
my weekend. Thank God this wasn't a road trip. And then the Saturday morning games on the road, we would have woken up off of terrible sleep in like a classroom. So,
Oof.
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would not have fared well. But that Montverde stuff is great to watch. Like I watched Mattis Bazelis, the lottery pick for the Bulls last season against them, and that kind of really sold me on him. And he's actually had a really nice rookie season.
This was the first time in I don't even know. Like maybe in middle school there was an NBA draft that I wasn't locked in on, but like I got the tweet yesterday saying like only a few hours till the draft, and I was like, wait, really?
I know.
Or no, it was the Slack message where it's like sale like NBA draft tonight. I was like, wait, that's tonight?
Great transition, Hank. We do have a DNVR Die Hard membership going on right now. A ridiculous $36 for a full year. You get a free shirt included. You can get this bad boy. We're going to talk Pat Surtain. You can get the Pat shirt. I mean, you name it. We've just got bangers all over.
Yes.
Jake could tell you about Buff shirts. Hank could tell you about great Rockies shirts we've got. You support us.
Rockies?
You support local journalism in your town. The 5 hours of broadcasting we do on this channel every single day. Guys like the great Dion Smith, who's producing our show, on the come up. You know, we love and cherish our fans so much because we are those fans. And your support means everything. Being able to do it our way means everything. So if you want all our great written content, that's film rooms, that's draft guides, that's the great quote pieces we've got on all our teams. I urge you to sign up, get yourself a free shirt, come to the DNVR bar, get some discounts on all our great stuff going on at the bar, get in on the events, get some discounts on tailgates. I mean, you name it, the whole shebang. Get discounts on merch. Join the DNVR Discord channel. I'm in a couple fantasy leagues with the guys in the Discord. Those are starting to heat up. Just finished one dynasty league. We're starting in the redraft leagues firing up. I mean, it's such a great community. I love you guys so much. It means so much, your support. So if you can, sign up or send the link to your friends. Jump in on this offer while it lasts because it's ending by this weekend when NHL and NBA draft wrap up. Also, Toyota Lounge, leave us a thumbs up. Hit us with some questions. I think we may have a few controversial ones here. So interact with it and let's all have a blast. But yes, what we are doing today, we are redrafting the 2021 NFL draft. It's George Paton's first draft. And it was a controversial one. Micah Parsons was on the board. DeVonta Smith was on the board. Most importantly, Justin Fields was on the board. And if you remember, that was that insane draft where like the pick's coming up at 9 and we're expecting a Aaron Rodgers trade to drop any second.
Right. Damn.
And then that doesn't happen. They pass on Justin Fields and they take Pat Surtain.
Like on the draft day, this is happening. I remember.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
So it was just a weird pick. And then, yeah, the Broncos came away with another great pick in that draft. But let's start at 1 where the Jaguars took Trevor Lawrence. And I mean, T-Law's an interesting combo here as well.
Right off the top.
Honestly, I would set the over-under how many picks we get through today at 15. And I think
we can
I'm
hit
taking
the
the
over.
under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love your eternal optimism.
Put
Hank.
$5 on it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Yep.
We'll
I got the
definitely
over.
get to 9.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
That's tough.
That is the goal.
We'll definitely get to 9.
That is the goal. Also, 10-year anniversary coming up for your boy tomorrow. If you have
Really?
any suggestions, if the chat has any suggestions, Dion has any suggestions, we can cover that in
Let's
the final
go.
5 minutes
Wow.
of the show.
That is a good
Wow.
one. Jeez, boy, did I just realize I'm unqualified. Like my first thought
I
was like,
know.
oh, go to the Rockies game. And I was like, oh, they're gone. It's like, oh, go to that women's national team game. It's like, oh, that's tonight.
Yeah.
And those aren't even really,
No.
They're
not
all-
exactly 10 years.
not exactly.
Not what she
You-
dreamed of after putting up with
Probably
this
not.
for 365 10x.
Unless she really wants to see
3,650.
the Irish get their asses beat. Because
Right.
I think it might be
By
beat down
women.
tonight.
Yeah,
But that would take a very particular mindset.
we are a pro-Irish couple, so
Damn.
what up, Thomas?
What's up,
Our
Thomas?
guy. I will be reading the ads, don't you fear. So yeah, T-Law, number 1 overall. He's had one good season
Yep.
and many stinkers.
So here's where I'd start.
Yeah.
Let's just look at the best players in the draft to
Come
kind
on,
of
Hank. There you go.
get-
we
get a
need
feel
you.
for it.
100%.
So it's actually kind of fun to look at.
BPA time.
So we'll make a little guessing game to start. 4 guys in this draft
Uh-huh.
are 2-time first-team All-Pros.
Okay.
Ugh.
1 is a tackle.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Can you guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who?
Penny Sewell.
Yep.
Yeah.
1 is a cornerback.
Pat Surtain.
You better get that one. One is an edge rusher.
Micah Parsons.
Yep. One is a receiver.
Jamar Chase.
No.
DeVonta Smith.
No.
Jalen Waddle?
Nope.
Hold on.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep. And then four more are one-time first-team All-Pros. 2 of them are Broncos.
Quinn Miners.
Quinn,
Yep.
yeah.
This one's a bit of a trick.
So not Pat then.
Not Pat. No, he's 2-time.
Marvin?
Tauno Funga.
That's fun. That's
Yep.
fun.
And then the other 2 are Jamar Chase, who's a one-time first-team All-Pro. Not too like Amon-Ra. And Creed Humphrey, center for the Chiefs. So those are the guys who are All-Pros.
Little subtext to all this. AFC West killed this draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat Surtain, Rashawn Slater, Creed Humphreys, Quinn Miners.
Yep.
And surprise, surprise, the Raiders poo-pooed the bed with Alex Leatherwood. I think this was one of
Big
the
surprise.
epic Mike Mayock drafts.
This is
Which
probably
Mike
towards the
Mayock
end.
might not be qualified to
Yeah.
be on our show at this point. After
What a
his,
fall from grace.
I know.
I know.
I know.
He's lived before the time of data. You know, that's when he was like and now when it's like everything is so like traceable, it's a lot. You can kind of see through a bit of it.
He was an
When
old
things
head.
don't go well. But yeah, I mean, crazy though. 8 first-team All-Pros in this draft. 3 of them on the Broncos roster.
It's an epic draft.
Yeah.
It is a really phenomenal draft.
So
And yet I don't know that there's a consensus one. The
I
top
agree.
4 picks, Trevor
I don't
Lawrence,
know.
Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Kyle Pitts.
I think
Not great.
I think if you do a redraft, it's pretty clear who goes first.
Start us off then,
Interesting.
baby.
It's Micah Parsons.
Really?
I can get
so.
behind it.
It's him or Penny Sewell.
See, and I think the average salaries of these guys would
True.
corroborate my 1A.
Oh.
Okay.
I think it's Jamar Chase.
See, I mean,
I think positional value,
you're all- yeah.
production, age at this point.
Edge rusher still has
Also
a tick more
projecting
positional value.
5
right?
years out, Jamar
Also
Chase and
true.
Travis Hunter opposite each other.
And
yeah.
let me look back through. I want to see the Micah Parsons stats because he feels to me like he was insane at first and has been good since.
Micah Parsons, we've kind of
Where Jamar
that.
Chase, you say, yeah, so
Roller
13 sacks,
coaster.
13 and a half, 14, 12. I was right. He did dip to 12 sacks. But I think I could go either way. Also, quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence is the easy number 1, right?
Yeah.
Because you go through Justin Fields, probably number 2 in front of Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, who aren't first-round picks.
Yikes.
And Justin Fields probably isn't a first-round pick, right?
No, I bet you we get out of the top 15 and
He
all of a
sneaks in.
sudden Fields starts to be
wait,
in
hold
the
But
on,
Trevor Lawrence is our easy first quarterback off the board when that time comes, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's quarterback here. Is quarterback so insane that you pass up on one of these other guys? I'd say probably not. I don't go Trevor Lawrence again.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I
So
wouldn't.
I'm not saying Justin Fields will go first overall, but he does have the Chicago Bears stank on him.
Also,
from-
yeah. There is a
I mean-
theoretical case for him.
No, I mean, and like the Jets right now are believers.
See, yeah. So I mean,
he
there's
is still a
case.
valuable contract. He's just nowhere near the other guys.
No.
You know
I
what?
mean, you have 2 franchise left tackles in this draft.
Of course.
You have some of the best interior O linemen in the entire class, star edge rushers, star cornerbacks, star wide receivers. It's just, yeah. I mean, you can't make an argument for a quarterback for at least the top 7, I think.
Okay.
Probably.
So you go Chase. You go
I'd go Micah.
Parsons.
You can be our tiebreaker.
I kind of like Penei Sewell.
Well, I mean, I am a Penei Sewell believer. No
It's
doubt.
one of those things.
And I mean, here's the other thing. I say Chase, but Amon-Ra has had
Yeah.
arguably the better career.
And Nico
Arguably.
Collins is also in this draft.
That's right. DeVonta Smith, which is the value of a receiver watered down because there's so many. The thing is, like, if the Jags pass on Jamar Chase, it's not like they're getting one of those other guys, you know? Like, you're getting a guy in the 2nd round. Like, so it probably doesn't water down the value too much.
Yeah. They do have the ETN pick at 25, the Jags.
I wonder.
Not looking good.
But I don't know that I don't know that they get a wide receiver there.
Okay, I'm gonna check one more thing. I'm gonna go back, look at the Jags roster at this point, because maybe that's the tiebreaker. Maybe we're forgetting about a guy they already had. So let's see. April 1st depth chart.
Josh Allen.
Here, actually, while you do that
Yeah.
research, Hank, I'm gonna do a quick little shout out.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, we're
And then,
struggling to
I
get to
mean,
16.
Dion, you might have to chime in. You might be tiebreaker today.
Yeah.
Never a tiebreaker though when you're drinking Coors Light. Boy, life. Life. Am I
Life.
right, guys? You might be talking
That
about
life thing.
interviewing the new front office of the NWSL team one night, breaking down Chinese centers the next,
You might.
and then waking up early morning to redraft the 2021 draft. It can be hectic. It can be beautiful. It can be wonderful, full of love, friendship, and intellectual stimulation. No matter what you're going through, Coors Light has you covered. Silver bullet time. The mountains turn blue. It's Colorado through and through. Filtered cold like the GD Rockies, not the baseball team, rather the mountains. Choose chill this winter and then reach for a Coors Light this summer, in fact. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR, or you can find it pretty much anywhere. I mean, duh, guys, it's Coors Light, including at the DNVR bar. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company. Golden, that's right, Colorado. Woo! And we talked about it. Some bets that hit for me on Bet365. Yes, Henson Yang to go in the first round. Also, I had Igor Denim to go ahead of Casper. Picks 5 through 7
These
really got
names
me.
are phenomenal.
Well,
know.
yeah, we have Lithuanians, we have Russians, we have
Igor
Chinese.
and Casper?
Don't forget Cooper Flag, pretty
Oh,
lit
the
name.
NBA's about to get
Con
lit.
Knipple. I read off Con's
That's
5
my
brothers,
favorite.
all with a K.
Oh, no.
Hager is one of Con's brothers, all with a K. I mean, just insane. These are the kind of things you can get in on
American?
at Bet365. Oh, American, my boy.
That surprises
And then
me a little.
Producer Kale guessed, that's the most Wisconsin thing I've ever heard. Looked up where Con Knipple is. Wisconsin.
Yep.
Wisconsin
Wow.
Lutheran was his high school. So yeah, we get weird with it. And Bet365, they're never ordinary. So they got you covered on all the weird bets you want to partake in. They're so great, man. I'll be betting Wimbledon soon. I need to get back on that Formula One grind
Austria
with my
this
guy.
weekend.
When's Wimbledon? I might watch that.
Actually, the qualies are already going, and then on the weekend, starting next week, big dogs, the seedings will
Okay.
start. So yeah, it's
Just realized I have no idea how the beginning of a tennis tournament works.
2 weeks of fun. Yes.
Yeah. A little research to do there.
It's
I've
it's
only
gonna
seen
be
the
epic.
ends.
I only.
Yeah.
It gets very clear.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll let you do your thing.
Okay. Sign up now. Use our code DNVR365. Minimum $10 deposit. Place a minimum $5 bet. And when that is settled, win, lose, or draw, like my PIDS winner last night, $150 in bonus bets. And that's for you to play with. Maybe it's time to start putting some football futures down. Must be 21 plus, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. TNCs apply.
True.
Don't look at me like that, like I shouldn't have done the gambler. Like, maybe it
I
wasn't
was looking at
appropriate, but let's just move past it.
I was just looking a way to interject myself and say I actually did know how tennis tournaments start because I don't even remember their names. The 2 guys who had the longest match ever, they got redrawn again, and I remember that went viral. So
That
that's
was
why I know
an
that.
epic. John Isner against, I forget who the French guy was.
Yeah.
That lasted for 3 days.
And
They
then
actually had to
rematch.
change the
Wait,
format
really?
so that yes.
How?
Yes, because
Just
at the
the
time you
tiebreaker?
wouldn't go to a deciding tiebreaker.
Oh.
So the final
Okay.
the
Yeah.
set was like 25 like
23 probably.
25-23, right.
That's insane.
Yep. Okay, you did some research for us.
Sure did. Okay, so receivers. They had Marvin Jones, who, again, you have to put yourself in a 2021 mindset.
They broke the bank for him too.
Yeah, so he was coming off a 978-yard season. They also had DJ Chark entering the final year of his rookie contract. He had been to a Pro Bowl. Again, you got to change how you think about these guys.
Former first-round pick.
Laviska Shenault, who
Was
they had
he?
drafted in the second round the year before.
Was Chark in the first round? Did they go with him?
Chark was second.
Second round.
Yep. So they had some investments. We now know not maybe the greatest group. Their tackles, Cam Robinson and Juwan Taylor. Juwan Taylor still young, rookie contract. Edge rushers, they had actually used back-to-back first-round picks on Josh Allen and then Caleb Von Chassen, which makes me wonder if maybe there's a case for Pat Surtain in here. Otherwise, I think I'd go Jamar Chase.
I think there is. I know. I mean, I think Jamar, Pat, Penny, they're all kind of in that tier of like, franchise wideout, franchise corner, franchise
Wait, who
left
would be their
tackle.
quarterback then if they didn't take Trevor Lawrence?
Gardner Minshew.
Or, I mean, something might have happened from
Also
now
true,
until,
true.
you
Also
know,
true.
like it.
But just at the time. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. They take Shador instead of Travis this year.
Wow.
Jeez.
Crazy. Okay, it sounds like we might need to go to Dion as our tiebreaker.
What's final answers? Anybody change their mind based on this? I'm off Penny Sewell. To me, it's Jamar Chase or it's Pat Surtain.
Yeah,
Taking a
I
wide
would
receiver,
agree.
a corner
I would
first
agree.
overall, though.
It's crazy.
Epic.
Might happen more often in redrafts.
Let's do the thing for us. Let's put Pat first overall.
Okay. The Pander pick. It's not a bad one, though, obviously.
I mean, it's right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's because they had used a first-round pick on a corner the year before, C.J. Henderson, but also Trey Herndon, Shaquille Griffin.
All these names.
I know.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's
know.
pretty crazy.
We've been doing this a minute.
And I mean, they're pairing them with the safeties of Rudy Ford and Andrew Wingard.
Wow, that team was bad.
Secondary could use a little juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Pat Surtain goes first overall.
And again, you can do Travis playing opposite Pat now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Jets are at 2.
Oh, boy.
So now I think we kind of just pushed that entire conversation to pick. I think everything we just said is still kind of...
It's Jamar, right? Or
Is it
is it
Jamar?
Micah at this point?
Is it Jamar, Micah, or Penny?
So,
I mean, that is a redraft. For
Yeah.
you, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the order, or those players at least.
Yeah.
The direction they're going now with Glenn as their head coach, they are trying to replicate the Lions model to a T.
So then they take Penny Sewell.
They might take Penny Sewell. Like philosophically, that might be the way to go.
So they had taken Mekhi Becton in the first round the previous draft. George Fant on the other side.
Yeah.
Who was their quarterback at this
Did
time?
not work out.
Quarterback, Sam Darnold.
I mean, they drafted Zach Wilson
Yeah.
second overall.
Sam
in this
Darnold
draft.
to replace, or Zach
that's
Wilson
right.
replaced Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20.
What a
So
wild league.
Darnold going into his final
those
year.
top 4 picks in this epic top 15 is crazy.
They're crazy.
all not busts. I mean, 2 are busts.
I go with Jamar Chase. They had Corey Davis, Denzel Mims, Jamison Crowder. And I don't think there was ever a moment where you convinced yourself on that group.
I mean, if you knew Darnold had a 30-touchdown season in him, you probably do take Jamar Chase, right? Or you protect him.
It's quite the argument there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'd love to steal Micah Parsons from the Niners, who have the next pick.
Yeah.
They traded up to do it. And a star pass rusher in New York. I think that does numbies.
Yeah.
All I'd say about Jamar Chase is they do have Garrett Wilson currently, and that hasn't really done much for them.
Yeah.
True. It is the... Yeah, that is the thing about a receiver. Maybe a receiver isn't the top pick.
How are you feeling about your over 15.5 picks in this show, since
what,
we're about to do our second
Yeah,
break
we're
at
almost halfway
5?
through
And
this show.
24 minutes
2
in, and we're
picks
really
in.
struggling on number 2.
Yeah,
Maybe the big reveal is who do the Broncos take at number 9 next week?
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I go Jamar Chase.
Sure.
Yeah, that's who I was leaning at
Yeah.
one, I guess. I kind of have talked myself into Micah, but let's stick to Jamar.
Yep.
Okay, and then I actually think Micah to the Niners is the perfect
It's
pick.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
insane that they moved up for that pick. There was the whole, they traded up for Mac Jones, and then Kyle Shanahan kind of got overruled, and they end up taking Trey Lance, and that's such a disaster. And some way, somehow, Brock Purdy saved him.
Was that this class too?
Look that up for me.
I don't think so.
I don't
is
think it
not.
is.
I think it's the next
No.
one.
Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant was a defensive back named Chris Wilcox that went to Tampa.
Oh, Chris
Hell yeah,
Wilcox.
Chris Wilcox.
Old cocky.
Okay, we've got the Falcons at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Pitts was the original pick.
Would've-
Ouchie,
yeah.
ouchie, ouchie.
Would have been electric with Julio and Calvin Ridley.
And for the Falcons, where it's like, man, if we could get a whole redo on this era of Falcons football, stop the reloading on skill positions, get some real like foundational pieces in the trenches for
Yep.
you. I mean, what a second chance at life being able to take Penei Sewell here.
Yep.
Totally.
They still
100%.
had they still had Jake Matthews at left tackle. So he must
Crazy.
have been
I can't believe this was just 4 years ago.
I know.
honestly.
It all
It
feels so
feels
long
like
ago.
10 years ago. I know. Okay, look at us. Moving it along. The Bengals at 5. No more Jamar Chase, but we know how crucial those wide receivers are to that offense. Also, obviously, pass rush desperate right now with everything that's going on, but
Real
there is
quick.
not an edge rusher to fit that need. Yes.
They had Jake Matthews, Caleb McGarry starting then.
Yeah.
They still have Jake Matthews and Caleb McGarry as their starting tackles. Tackle might not be like Penei Sewell's probably playing guard.
Which, I mean, what a luxury that'd
Yeah.
be.
I mean, that would help a lot of their issues.
Like,
Or
guess they
being
could
able to move McGregor inside.
Exactly.
You know?
Or you can move on from one of them.
I mean, all of a sudden, how much more valuable does Kirk Cousins become? Does Bijan Robinson become? You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
true.
Okay. The Bengals at 5. There's no pass rusher or defender to really quench their thirst here. I think with how important Chase is to that offense, you got to try and go back to that wide receiver well.
Mm-hmm.
And is it Waddle? Is it the Slim Reaper? Or is it actually Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I'll throw in Nico Collins too.
Big Michigan guy over here.
Yeah.
I remember I pulled up my spreadsheet. I had a big grade on Nico Collins. He came through for me.
Yeah, my grades are a mixed bag here.
I've got to go with Amon-Ra. I mean,
In some ways, can replicate what Jamar Chase gave
Totally,
you quite
yeah,
a bit and have a little more slot versatility.
1,500 yards in a season. That's just like a crazy mark.
Catches
Like that's a high
everything.
end that's different than what we've seen from Waddle and Collins so far.
In this new reality, is T. Higgins still wide receiver 2 if Amon-Ra is wide receiver 1, or does there become more jostling here?
There might be more jostling, but it's still certainly T. Higgins too.
I
I
would
mean,
agree.
again, like T. Higgins' best year would only be better than Amon-Ra's rookie year, I believe, statistically.
I mean, yeah, Amon-Ra the last 3 years has been unreal.
Yeah.
I think the wide receiver run starts here too.
Yeah.
Look, the other question is this similar to the Falcons? What are we thinking giving them a wide receiver? Give them Christian Darrisaw. Like, let's be adults and pump up the trenches since that's what they need. Or Rashawn Slater.
Or maybe, or Landon Dickerson or Creed Humphrey.
Sure.
I
Quinn
mean,
Meinerz,
interior guys, but if you're just talking like those guys have both been to 3 Pro Bowls.
Christian Barrymore, Jalen Phillips,
Yeah, if
Starts
Barmore
to
had been
get a
healthy,
little trickier.
it might be more of a conversation.
JOK, another guy who health has gotten. Those are the best defenders remaining on the board. I think it's Amon-Ra. Just wanted
Yep.
to
Let's do it.
prompt that combo.
Yep.
So we've gone Pat Surtain 1 to the Jaguars. The Jets at 2 take Jamar Chase. The Niners at 3 take Micah Parsons. The Falcons at 4 take Penei Sewell, even though maybe he's more of a guard for them. And the Bengals at 5 take Amon-Ra St. Brown. Feeling good about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I am too. Now is where it gets fun. We'll see what the Broncos do here at 9. We'll see where Quinn Meinerz goes. do the whole thing. But first, let's give a quick shout out to the ones, the only, the myths, the legends at Toyota in a redraft. They would be our number one pick every single time because they're the perfect Colorado car. They're just perfect. The perfect partner for us, the perfect Colorado car. Trucks, SUVs, all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, just all the options to take your car, head west, get lost in the mountains, cruise and enjoy life. Their customer care has been incredible. Jake can speak to that firsthand.
Yes, I
Anyone who drives a Toyota here at DNVR swears by it. Talks about like what a great safe car it is, what a great family car it is, what a reliable car it is. And you have just so many options, you know, whether it's more environmentally friendly cars, whether it is the SUVs, the pickup trucks, the sedans. They've got you covered on all fronts. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota in Arapahoe and Centennial. Corwin Toyota in Boulder. Groove Toyota in Littleton. Mountain States Toyota in Denver. Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora. Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Toyota, let's go places. And as we told you, we've got this great sale going on for diehards right now, and that really plays into what you're able to do with your discounts at the DNVR bar, at DNVR events. Rooftop Friday was an absolute success on Ryan Day. I mean, the Ryans for the Rockies went off. The Ryans in the crowd were just eating it up with a spoon. It was a legendary time, and you can head out and join us at Coors for our next one. We've got an awesome golf tournament coming up. All that info can be found at thednvr.com/events. We've got some amazing stuff going on at the DNVR bar, including a Benny Fowler film room. Not to mention, we're going to London, baby, for that Broncos game this season. We'll have tailgates every single home game for Broncos. Buffs should have more info on those coming up soon. I mean, 'tis the season. It's right around the corner, folks. So get in all the fun. DNVR.com/events. Link in the description. QR code right there. Okay.
This class is rough, man.
It's epic. What are you talking about?
I mean, just rolling through here. I mean, yeah, once you get...
Other classes are way rougher is what I would say, I guess.
It gets dry very quick, though. I mean, you maybe get out of the first round, and then we're really struggling.
It's the first 17 at most.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Kyle Pitts is probably still going top 15.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys who are probably still going in that range.
100%. I mean, and we're on T-Law watch.
Totally.
I think out of the top 5, it was hard to make an argument for Trevor Lawrence. Now is where we can definitely start considering him. But I do think there are a few blue chippers remaining that need to be prioritized. One being Christian Darrisaw. The other being Jalen Waddle, Rashawn Slater, DeVonta Smith. Is that the correct tier? Am I devaluing Quinn Meinerz, Creed Humphrey even?
That's where I'd go. I think Creed Humphrey and
Quinn.
And Landon Dickerson.
And Trey Smith's in this class, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great interior
absolutely.
alignment class. That's where I got it right. There's also Elijah Vera Tucker, who's not like the absolute worst.
Sure.
No, he's a starter. But again, like Landon Dickerson's been to 3 Pro Bowls in 4 years. There's just a tier difference there to me.
Yeah. For sure. So yeah, Dolphins at 6.
They could stick with Waddle.
Yes.
Kind of feels like this is the first time you would make a case for sticking with the original pick. Obviously, that speed Waddle possesses huge for this offense. But Waddle's not even the best wide receiver, right?
No.
It's Smith, quite clearly, is it not?
Oh,
Nico Collins.
here's the case. So Jalen Waddle, 4,129 yards in 4 years. DeVonta Smith, 4,011. Touchdowns, Smith has 7 more, 20 to 27. But in that like ridiculous Eagles offense, does that help him more? So I mean, it's Tua versus Hurts. I mean, it probably
How many
isn't a
of
big
Waddle's
difference.
numbers came in that ridiculous
Yes.
Dolphins
Also true.
offense? The other thing is, I would venture to say a lot of Waddle stats are coming in September.
Yeah.
When we struggle to tackle,
Yeah.
when it's not really real football, it's bona fide preseason. And DeVonta Smith has shown up way more in the second half of the season where it matters a lot more. And then, of course, there's the playoff success, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's at 66 yards per game in the playoffs, which would be the equivalent of 1,100 yard season.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably a good tiebreaker.
I'll just say, I mean, Waddle, like the speed element is exactly what they wanted for
Also
that
true.
offense.
Him
Yeah.
makes Tua look a little better, and
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is
Tua threw a lot
do
of
you
passes.
mess with history, or are you just happy with what you had?
Tua threw a lot of passes to DeVonta Smith too.
Also true. I forgot about
what
that.
about a reboot and we don't mess with Tua anymore and you just take Trevor Lawrence?
Totally.
They already
it's on the table.
already had Tua at this point.
Yeah, for
Took
sure.
him the year before.
For sure. I would take T-Law ahead of Tua. Like,
Yes.
knowing what I know now,
I
Yes.
think so.
I would take T-Law and feel better about my options going forward than I would T-Law.
Then Tua.
Than I would Tua. Yeah.
Agreed. But again, at this
I don't-
point, you already have Tua, so
Yeah, I don't think it's. I'm with you, Dre. I don't think it's enough though.
in a double redraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So Waddle or Smith?
either of them.
I
think
feel
both of them are fine.
strongish about Smith.
Then let's do Smith.
Okay.
There you go.
Waddle has like the proven, like it worked, don't mess with it. Smith has playoffs. We can go playoffs.
I also think he's fast enough to like basically do everything.
It doesn't totally change.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Okay. The next pick, we get to 7, the Detroit Lions, who sadly drafted Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown in this draft. They, at the 7th pick, don't have either available to them anymore.
Yeah. I
Bummer.
mean,
But they do have options at both positions.
exactly. These offensive linemen need to go off the board. Like to me, you get Creed Humphrey, Quinn Miners,
Rashawn Slater.
Rashawn Slater, and Landon Dickerson. Like those might be the 4 best players on the board.
aside
And I guess
from
with
Waddle.
Quinn, you have the development curve. Waddle's probably right there too, but Quinn might be bottom of the group because, you know, those first couple years weren't what they were for Dickerson or Humphrey, but yeah.
We forget that the Lions have been looking for speed at wide receiver. In fact, they went with a speedster out of Alabama
True.
just a few drafts later in Jamison Williams.
Yes, sir.
Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have to do that now if you had Waddle.
True.
But then again, you wouldn't have Amon-Ra. I think they would stick to that identity of O-line, and I would argue Darisaw is the guy.
This wide receiving core was really rough back then too.
Yeah.
Darisaw. Yeah, I would have him as like my 5th offensive lineman on the board. Like compared to those other guys, like you just look at
Plays tackle though.
totally, but get like they have like the AV for
Yeah.
Pro Football Reference. Again, like Darisaw is sitting there at like 22 versus I think Quinn was the lowest of the other group at 25, but then like Rashawn Slater at 32, he's one of the best. But that's not a great stat. Let's go with like Pro Bowls where Slater has a couple and
Or game started.
also true. Darisaw
How about
hasn't been to a Pro Bowl, you
Using
know?
our eyes, and that Minnesota offense
go
has
by that
been
too.
amazing, and he's
Definitely.
been a set and forget starting franchise left tackle.
I'd say Slater's been better though.
I mean, they literally drafted another tackle who people were hyping up more mere years later.
Oh, right tackle.
Joe Alt? Is that
Joel
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
playing right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go Slater over Darisaw. And again, like I think also like Landon Dickerson, just dominant at guard.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm fine with either. I think that's the Dan Campbell pick at that point in time anyway.
100%.
And I mean Creed Humphrey there too.
I mean, they have Frank Ragnow at this point in time.
True. They did have Ragnow.
Taylor Decker was still starting at left tackle for them at this time too.
Humphrey's not a system fit either. Like if you're running more power, I do think Slater's probably your best pick. As far as fit, I do think Darisaw's had the better career. Career grade on PFF.
I'll take the tackle.
92.4 for Darisaw, Slater 83.1.
Huh.
And Waddle's still there.
And Waddle is still there.
But I'll take the argument for Slater.
Sure.
I can live with it. And then we move on to 8, the Carolina Panthers, who took J.C. Horn. Thank God they did.
Yes.
I mean, this was huge for the Broncos, taking J.C. Horn here.
It's probably why they picked Pat.
Yes.
Exactly why.
And honestly, like
It's one of the great sliding doors moments. And I mean, what do? Do they take Parsons at that point? Do they take Horn? Do they take Slater?
We're getting ahead of ourselves. We need to pick for the Panthers.
Yes.
It's true.
And there's, I mean, it wouldn't have been a bad pick.
Trevor
if Pat
Lawrence
wasn't
still on the board.
Yes. Like,
Do the Panthers just take T-Law?
They had Teddy Bridgewater and PJ Walker.
yeah, they could. We
Like,
can
to do it over, would you rather T-Law than doing the Bryce Young trade and all that? Yeah, probably.
Definitely. They lost a lot of picks from that.
Should we have considered T-Law for Detroit more?
You could.
I don't know. I
So-
guess
I don't
you'd
regret it.
argue Goff has been just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
This was.
I mean,
he
they
was
were
already
still
on there.
happy with. When did they trade Stafford? They must have just traded him at that point.
I think.
Yeah,
that's
I think that
the
sounds
offseason,
Yeah,
right?
that would have been the offseason.
So they already would have had Goff then.
Yeah. So you wouldn't draft him with Goff there, probably. Not when you could have Slater. But also, I mean,
Put some respect on Jared Goff's name.
J.C. Horn probably isn't still the pick here,
No.
but he is a Pro Bowl corner.
Yeah.
You know, like he hasn't been like terrible. It's just that you had Pat Surtain there a couple picks later.
But I mean, the O linemen and the wide
Yeah.
receivers, you for sure take ahead
Definitely.
of him. Yeah, I think it's T-Law here. I think the slide needs to end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Carolina makes a lot of sense.
I mean, yeah, this team needs a lot of
Yep.
help. This is still the Matt Rule Panthers.
Yeah. Yep. And we made it. We made it to the Broncos.
did.
Good job, guys.
Let's go.
Wow.
Good job. Also, Daniel is saying, can we talk about the Randy Gregory contract?
Was that off season?
Must have been.
What a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Must have been the year later, I would think. I can check.
So who are our best options? I mean, we have Darisaw there.
Darisaw's still around.
There's
Who's
Jay-
our wide receiver that's still around? Waddle.
Yeah.
Waddle, Collins, and
Yep.
is there another one?
No, I think
That was it.
That's the 2 of the 4 that are left. Darisaw and then all the interior O linemen.
Okay, so
And
basically,
J.C. Horn, I suppose.
like the best players still available. Creed Humphrey, Quinn Miners, Talanoa Hufanga,
Landon Dickerson.
Landon Dickerson's in there. Trey
Man, it's
Smith.
such a rough draft. Yeah.
Then Pro Bowlers, you still have Pitts made one, Horn made one, Mac Jones, Najee Harris, JOK. JOK,
I mean-
sneaky interesting.
I think you just dismantled being able to use Pro Bowls as an argument.
Yeah.
I'm
no,
sorry.
the single,
Like, that's
the
pathetic.
quarterbacks in particular,
That's
Trace
pathetic.
Smith, and then that would be it. Nico Collins.
You do
Yeah.
have 3 All-Pros still on the board, though, and Humphrey, Hufanga, and Miners.
True.
Yeah. I have a weakness for Darisaw. I think he's a big-ish upgrade over McGlinchey.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is
That's
pre
pretty
McGlinchey,
big.
so you could do that too.
Well, you're
pretty
saving
big.
that money.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden that cap
True. Yeah.
could go a long way.
Who did we have at quarterback then? I can't even remember.
It wouldn't have been Russ because
Was-
Russ comes the next off season.
Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, or was that pre Teddy? No, that would be Teddy.
I'm rolling back to find it right now.
Yeah, look at the 2021 quarterback stats. Also, thank you, Thomas, for your praise of my ad reads. That means so much. I appreciate you, man.
Oh, we were just straight rolling with Locke ahead of the season at this
Okay.
point. It was Locke, Rippon, and Driscoll on
That's
the
right.
roster.
And then they got Teddy.
Yeah, because they got him the day of the draft.
I can't remember.
Right?
I can't either. That could be.
It was the day before, like the day of, something like that.
Those wide receivers are intriguing. Like in a world where you already have Waddle or Nico Collins,
Mm-hmm.
these combos we've had about drafting wide receivers
Yeah.
are probably alleviated a lot.
I'd go offensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they literally signed Ben Powers as well. So, I mean, Quinn
Exactly.
Meinerz has been essential.
I think that's the
Yeah.
right pick.
And Darisaw. I'd say Darisaw or Dickerson are probably my two. And
Ahead of
tackle makes
Meinerz,
sense.
huh?
Again, it's just a curve. Like I mean, were Dickerson and Miners the All-Pro guards? No, because Dickerson didn't have a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro. So
Dickerson played center at Alabama too, so you get a
Yeah.
little bit of versatility with him.
yeah, Quinn taught himself for the Senior Bowl, but that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a case for Quinn for sure. But again, it's just the plug and play versus are you willing to sit through the first 2 years and get
That's the other
good player
thing, right?
year 3
Yep.
and then
Yep.
you're gone.
That is part of it, is like
Yep.
how long did it take you to hit
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
max speed? And I think Darisaw hit the ground running a little
True.
faster.
Yeah.
I mean, he would fix so many problems moving forward. Obviously, you don't have the McGlinchey deal, which he's been fine, but you don't have that massive deal. I mean, just this year, you'd be talking about extending Darisaw, or the year prior, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So,
Okay. 10 for the Eagles. They took DeVonta Smith at the time.
we just swapping the.
Swap in Waddle, one
Yeah.
Bama wide receiver to another.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an easy choice.
Yep.
11, the Bears fall beautifully. They took Justin Fields at the time. You could upgrade the offensive line in the ways
Yep.
that you really need it. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, not Darisaw anymore, Quinn Meinerz, Landon Dickerson.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I'd go. I think at this point, those got to be the best guys on the board. Unless you want to get like Greg Russo, maybe starts to become a consideration.
Do they still go quarterback?
No. I don't think so.
They had Andy Dalton and Nick Foles.
I know, but you can't go Fields.
Exactly.
You just
I don't think
can't.
Fields is worth it.
True.
And after that, it's the
Ahead
Zach
of
Wilson,
these
Trey
guys.
Lance, Mac
Yeah,
Jones.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Nick Bolton becomes a conversation. Javon Holland becomes a conversation at some point.
No, Nico Collins.
Yeah. He's in
Maybe Nico Collins there's an argument for him ahead of these interior O linemen. I think Creed's been amazing. Creed's one of
Yeah.
my best calls. He was ranked 18th. He went all the way to the third rounder, and he
Crazy.
was like a phenomenal call by me. It helps he went to the Chiefs.
there. Also true.
It helps he
Yes.
went to that offense, and he was really mobile, and like he was always like, yeah, he goes to the right offense where it's a lot of zone, a lot of movement. He's going to be fantastic. There weren't other scenarios for him working out, though. He was pigeonholed, and there's just one positive outcome. Well, I think Quinn has more positive outcomes. I
Yep.
think Dickerson has more positive outcomes. And I think, yeah, Nico Collins. I mean, this is all before the DJ Moore trade, before
Right.
drafting Romo Dunze.
Right. They had Allen Robinson at the time,
Yeah,
Darnell
Yep.
Mooney,
right.
Anthony Miller.
Not great.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of think Nico's the more high ceiling guy.
He instantly becomes their best receiver.
Yeah. Well, I think Nico Collins is the answer, Hank.
Okay.
You're about it?
I can get behind it.
Chargers at 13 had taken Rashawn Slater at the time. I think this is Quinn. And I would hate to have Quinn at the Chargers. And with
Yeah.
Harbaugh
my
then
Lord.
being
True.
hired, he would be so perfect.
He'd love him.
They'd run the ball 50 times a game behind that guy.
He would turn
Yep.
Quinn Miners into a skill player with how often he
Yes.
pulled him and moved
Yes.
him around.
They would
Yeah.
do the Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd give him some few read options or
Yeah.
Dickerson would be the other guy to make a case for.
Yeah.
But I'd say Quinn
can
at
go Quinn.
13. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
14, the Jets took Elijah Vera Tucker.
They already have Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
So this
Wow.
has to be trenches.
Yeah. And I think it's easy. You swap Vera Tucker out for Landon Dickerson.
Yep.
Vera Tucker hasn't been bad. He just hasn't been
Yeah.
great.
He's a starter.
This is where the draft starts to break.
Patriots.
15, Patriots. You could give him Christian Barmore, who was a really good later pick for them. At the time, they took
Yeah.
Mac Jones.
Yep. It's just tough with Barmore health wise.
You wouldn't want to give him Fields.
I mean, they have Osa Adigizua is on the board.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a nice career so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah. And you still have Creed Humphrey.
Yep.
Trey Smith still there.
Yep.
Trey Smith too.
Yep. Sam Cosmi has actually been pretty good for the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
J.C. Horn, as you mentioned, Pro Bowler, Hank.
Yeah.
Much like Mac Jones, who was their original pick. Javon Holland.
Ufanga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hufanga.
I
Start to get into some injury concerns.
I mean there's one guy who's been a first team all pro left on the board, and it's Creed Humphrey. So you gotta think at some point. I know it's like a scheme thing, but he's gotta be off here pretty quickly, you'd think.
I mean, him and Dickerson, you'd think would be the next two picks, right?
I think we just gave Dickerson, or maybe I heard that.
No, you're right.
Dickerson
You're
to
right.
the
He went
Jets,
to the
yeah.
Jets. My bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it really is Creed Humphrey and then big drop off in my
Oh,
mind.
and also Ufunga.
Trey Smith.
I forgot. Ufunga
Trey
also
Smith.
first team all pro. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Humphrey's been the better O lineman on that Chiefs O line, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's also been available for longer. So let's give
Certainly.
the Patriots Creed Humphrey, the center out of Oklahoma. 16, the Cardinals.
Zaven Collins. Oof.
Yeah, this was where VJ, they were drafting them hybrid players on that Cardinals defense, and it was
a
not
mess.
working out. Not working out.
They still had Kyler and DeAndre Hopkins at this point in time.
Boy, this exercise sure is proving that drafting in the trenches is pretty important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Very.
sometimes when I do my rankings, I'm like, man, I have a lot of O linemen here early.
You've always been so good at that, though.
Well, because they're hard guys to find.
Totally.
And like if you like pass a certain parameter, I know like your floor to succeed is pretty high, you know? Your floor to be like a regular contributor is pretty high. So yeah, good exercise to remember, like maybe don't drink the Kool-Aid on all the skill guys too much.
Yeah.
But the
Also,
NFL
we
does
end
it
up overrating
every year, too.
quarterbacks like
Oh,
criminally.
of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, how can you not?
Yeah. Because you need one.
It's tough.
It's just a gamble.
This league makes no sense.
when one hits. I know.
Yep.
I know. That's where it's fun to do the NBA draft because it really feels like the NBA draft's like evaluating quarterbacks.
Yeah, everyone's a quarterback type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Like balancing skill versus athleticism and size is all a very nebulous.
Mm-hmm.
While the other positions, it's kind of like, yeah, go with the bigger, stronger, faster athlete.
And I feel like there's not much like ceiling versus floor debate in the NBA because the rosters are so small. You only have 5 guys on the floor at a time. Like,
Well, and a lot of that's age dependent.
True.
Which is something we don't talk about a ton.
well, and it's gone by the wayside recently in the NFL too.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
transfer portal era. I mean, Bo Nix, he was a 6-year player. There's a lot of guys like that who have been going high the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and I feel like this was a draft, or like some of these guys getting overdrafted was probably because we drank the Kool-Aid on them being young.
Quarterbacks in
Yep.
particular.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, Trey Lance is the greatest example of like draft quarterbacks who you're confident can throw it.
Well, and obviously that whole
Not
thing is
raw pieces of clay.
the pandemic.
But then
totally
there's
just-
Well, yeah.
then there's Josh Allen too. And when
I
you-
think they're so different, man.
I mean,
think that's
there's
a
certainly
terrible
differences. You think so?
Yes.
Big arm athlete. You look at the size and the physical gifts.
He passed it so much more. He had
And-
so
Okay.
many more opportunities to pass it.
Okay.
level of competition.
Level
too.
of competition really mattered.
Yes,
and
that's
I think,
true.
I think Trey Lance, honestly, is we repeated the Trey Lance thing with Anthony Richardson.
We really did.
Yes.
And again, that's very NBA drafty of like, oh, like last night, a guy got drafted who only played 6 games last season.
Yeah, that's insane.
D2 transfer,
Yep.
goes to Wazoo, plays 6 games, and then he's drafted off of those 6 games.
Jeez.
Like it just doesn't work out. Like the Bill Parcells rules, which we've mentioned a lot with quarterbacks since Sean Payton has become the Broncos head coach, honestly have proven even in the last 5 years to be a pretty accurate guide to go to.
Turns out experience really matters.
Experience matters. And I mean, this class is a great example. Zach Wilson didn't have a ton of experience. Trey Lance didn't have a ton of experience. Justin Fields only had the 2 years as a starter? One of those
Did he
being a
have 2?
weird COVID year with no crowds
that's
and maybe a
right,
shorter
yeah.
season. And T-Law also maybe just missed the cut because you remember as a true freshman, he's not starting the first half of the season.
Yeah, Kelly Bryant.
Josh Allen threw twice as many passes as Trey Lance in college.
See?
Yep.
That's because Trey Lance just never threw the ball. How many? There wasn't.
He had his whole season canceled.
What was the
though, right?
stat with Trey Lance? He never had like over 20 pass attempts in a game or something.
Oh, I
Yeah.
totally
like,
buy
dude, that
He
doesn't
had a
translate.
couple. The big one was he never threw an interception until there was that COVID year. So the FCS doesn't play the COVID season, but they scheduled the one game against whatever FBS team, and he was terrible. Which is why he fits into like some of those category of like sub 60% passers in their final season. But again, it was one game. And he did throw the interception.
What a nightmare of
Good
a
old Trey
prospect
Lance.
to try and evaluate, man.
And this
Yeah.
is the other one. Like, stop juicing up Kyle Shanahan and the Niners drafts. Because few have botched something worse than this pick.
Yes.
Yep.
And most picks.
Most picks.
Yes.
I mean,
And
it's
like they've
really
blown
bad.
several top 10 picks.
They've blown, I think, consecutive drafts the last like 4 years.
Yeah.
Like it's not good.
Yes.
100%. 16 the Cardinals though. Oof. Oso Digizua.
Oh wow.
I mean,
I was sure you were
Talanoa
stalling. I
Hufanga?
thought you were kneeling it out to get your under 16.
Oh,
We're circling back.
I would never.
Okay.
Bets must hit organically. Home
Okay.
cooking isn't
Okay.
something. I'm not an NBA ref, Hank.
True. Or that damn umpire at the Dodger game last night.
Yeah, exactly.
That was awful.
Nick Bolton, I think, is a good player still on the board. I mean, shoot, we're talking about Chuba Hubbard maybe being the first running back drafted now. Like,
Yeah. Oli McNeil, yet another Lions
Yep.
player, could maybe be selected. Sam Cosme. Trey Smith. Trey Smith's the guy who hasn't gone.
Talanoa. They
Yeah.
tried experimenting
Yeah.
with all these players
That's
at
right.
safety. Why not
Maybe
just give him a
actually-
safety?
Yeah.
And stealing
But-
from your division rival.
Would
Yeah.
it be Talanoa or would it be Holland? Because Talanoa had
Yeah.
that great year, but again, just like the consistency
Holland
of play.
has had the longevity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, let's give him Holland then.
Or
There you
Pitts.
Oh man, he'd be a nightmare with Cliff Kingsbury.
Y-
That offense.
Yeah. And as much as everybody
Not a
hates,
good nightmare. It'd be
Pitts
a,
lever.
Oh no, it'd be bad. That was a mess.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Pitts has JC Horn vibes.
What does that mean?
Like just like he's not terrible. It's just disappointing based on the hype.
When you go 4th overall, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they could figure out how to use them in this different scenario. I do think this is where the Pitts combo can start.
Yes.
Oh, I guess maybe the safe bet is Trey Smith, but
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
Wow, this was an exercise.
Fascinating exercise. I'm so glad we do this every week for even the best drafts of the last 10 years to pan out, and we struggle to even like the 16th best prospect 4 years later.
Yep.
What a way to live a life, huh? Shout out to all the great homies in the Toyota chat. Thomas, Daniel, Anthony, you guys are all superstars. Mad love to you. Mad love to our guy Dion Smith on the 1s and 2s. Mad love to the Schwan man and Hankster. Tune in, 15 minutes. Hank's going to do it all over again, giving you some more Broncos talk. Until next week, bye.
We all silly like the mayor.